The Jak and Daxter games have always had racing sections in them, so it made sense that they eventually got their very own kart racer. Originally released in 2005 on the PS2, Jak X, or Jak X Combat Racing as it's known in America, sees our heroes and their friends forced to race in a deadly tournament. After being poisoned during the reading of the will of the late villain Crow who died in Jak 2, the only way they're getting an antidote is to win the championship, so the race is on. But is a Jak and Daxter game where you only race still a worthwhile entry into the series? Let's find out. Here's what I think about Jak X. Number 1. Racing's got its highs and lows. The greatest thing about the racing in this game is the speed. Blasting around tracks at a breakneck pace, constantly getting turbo boosts from a variety of different methods like drifting or picking up blue containers means you always feel like you're moving fast. So fast in fact that one slip up or one dip in concentration can send you flying into a wall. It's this thin line between in and out of control that puts you on the edge of your seat, eyes glued to the screen, making tiny adjustments to stay on track and not giving your brain a chance to rest until you finish the race. It's this knife edge between winning and losing that really holds your attention. Of course, it's not just bad driving that can cause explosions into a painful crash of carnage. There's also plenty of weapons to sink your teeth into, whether it's the yellow ones, which are more offensive like machine guns or rockets, or the red ones which are defensive like oil slicks or mines.
Try dropping a mine, Jak. Good job!
These weapons are really a big game changer, and in fact it's easy to argue that some of them are perhaps a little too powerful. Especially when you're sitting in first place, because then you feel like a big target is stuck on your back. The better you're doing, the more vulnerable you feel, as the difference between first and last may be just one electrical peacemaker, which is a missile that homes in on whoever's winning the race. If you're gonna win, you're gonna have to learn how to recover from being hit by this thing. A lot. The other 5 AI racers all have similar skill levels, and so will often cluster together tightly. This means that one mistake, and it's more than likely that you'll be pushed right back to 6th position, as everyone overtakes you. Of course, on the flip side, the weapons can be useful if you've got some catching up to do. Being at the back gives you an increased chance of getting the most powerful of weapons, like the Supernova, which kills all drivers in front of you. It also means that you're never fully out of a race, and can always regain your lead. But at the same time, it does make a lot of your wins come down to getting the right weapons and using them at the right time, rather than good old driving skill. This takes away some of the satisfaction of a win. It may not matter how well you drive throughout the race, but instead, it often comes down to those last few seconds whether you win or lose. Is it exciting? You bet. But also sometimes frustrating. Tracks take place across various locations from all of the Jak and Daxter trilogy, and are often quite long and consist of 2 or even just 1 lap. But various segments will repeat themselves on different levels, and so you do start to learn all of the best techniques and best angles to take corners at as you play through the same parts repeatedly. You definitely start to have sections that you look forward to and know you can do some catching up on, but also parts you begin to dread, knowing that you haven't quite mastered them yet.
Tell me, Jak, you just beat one of the top racers in a bid to qualify for the Grand Championship race. Your point totals are impressive. What makes you think people won't kill you for this?
What?
Number 2, Adventure Mode. As well as racing, the story mode of Jak X, or Adventure Mode as it's called, has you doing all kinds of different events. This stops you from ever getting bored, as you're always changing what you're doing and driving in a different way. For example, in Rush Hour, you have to chain together head-on collisions with other cars coming at you in the opposite direction. This is probably the hardest mode to do well in, with some extremely high targets to hit.
Let's go again, buddy.
You may have to do time trials whilst collecting pickups that freeze time for a brief period. Or you may have to do arena events like death matches or capture the flag type modes.
This is a death race, Jak, and it's one of the crowd's favorite events. The object of this challenge isn't just to race, but also to take out as many other cars as you can before time runs out.
Dash, get in the car!
Jak! Are you crazy? You ruined my story!
If you win an event, you get a gold and 3 medal points. Coming second, you get 2, and coming third, you just get the 1. You need to achieve a certain number of medal points to unlock new events. You may at some point need to start to go back to events you've already done, only this time do better and get a better position than before, extra medal points, and so you can unlock the next race or the next event. Eventually you qualify for the Grand Prix, 3 tough races where your score in each is added together and then totaled at the end to see who wins. So it's added pressure then by the time you get to the 3rd race, because no matter how well you did in the first 2, one screw up and you may have blown your chances of winning the title, and so have to start again from race 1. Performing in events also rewards you with precursor orbs, which you can use to customize and tune up your car. It's a nice way to really get you attached to your vehicle, as you eventually craft your perfect car.
Oh yeah, you just got schooled.
Birds do not school. They flock. So flock off!
Number 3. Exhibition Mode. The Exhibition Mode is your typical way of playing a one-off event, with whichever character you like on whatever map you want, and in single player or split screen. It would have been nice if they added an online mode so you could play against people across the globe, but hang on. The original PS2 version did have online multiplayer. The PS4 version has stripped it away. Now, to be fair, it does make sense. Realistically, how many people will be playing Jak X online in 2018, and for how long? Is it really worth setting up servers for it? But at the same time, it is a little disappointing not to be able to race and destroy people from around the world. The game has been up-rendered to 1080p and has got added trophies, but still, the online multiplayer is one feature that the PS2 had, but the PS4 does not. Jak X isn't just a spin-off game. In many ways, it's the 4th story of Jak and Daxter, with entertaining cutscenes, new characters, and even some old characters getting more to do here than they did in some of the other games. It's a nice world to get back into. Sure, the racing has a few balancing issues, but it's still a blast to play. And that music, with a mix of rock and plenty of drums, really gets the fuel flowing. It reels you in, making you constantly want just one more race. Thanks for watching.